Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're going to be, diving right into the world of artificial intelligence. You gave us some really cool stuff from AI Demystified to look at, and yeah, I'm excited to just dig in with you. From those old sci-fi ideas about machines that can think to like all the AI that's working behind the scenes right now. We've got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, it really makes you think, huh, that whole idea of machines that can actually think, it's been around forever, but we're like living in a time when it's not just, imagination anymore. It's in our phones, our cars. It's even like figuring out what we want to buy online.
I know. It's crazy. It's almost like we don't even realize how much AI is a part of our lives. It's just kind of there. So, where do we even start with this whole AI thing? AI Demystified does a good job of explaining the different types of AI. And I gotta say, it's way more complicated than just those, robot overlords we see in movies.
Yeah, for sure. AI isn't just one thing. It's a whole kind of family of different approaches and, things they can do. And the first step is like really understanding what we even mean by intelligence when we're talking about machines.
Okay, so let's get into that. The book talks about four different ways to think about AI: thinking humanly, thinking rationally, acting humanly, and acting rationally. What strikes me is that this isn't just about, building a robot brain. It's about figuring out how intelligence itself works, even in us.
Yeah, that's a good point. You're right. The whole field of AI is connected to philosophy and cognitive science. It's not
Mhm.
just about building machines. It's about like really understanding what intelligence I ask.
Right, that makes a lot of sense. So let's go back a bit. How long has this AI thing been around?
Well, people usually say AI officially started at the Dartmouth Summer Research Project back in 1956. That's when the term artificial intelligence was actually, invented. And researchers really started to see what they could do with machines that could think.
Wow, 1956. That feels kind of recent considering how much AI is everywhere now.
It is, yeah, but the idea of building intelligent machines goes back way further. I mean, thinkers and storytellers have been like obsessed with that idea for centuries. Like
Mm.
the ancient Greeks had myths about automatons, and in the 17th century, philosophers like Rene Descartes were already wondering if machines could, think logically.
Wow, it's wild how those early ideas led to what we have today. Speaking of how things develop, the book mentions these AI winters times when people kind of lost interest and stopped funding AI research. That seems strange for something with so much potential.
It does, right. You'd think something like AI would just, keep getting bigger and better. But
Mm.
AI is complex and new, so it's had its ups and downs. So those AI winters happened when early promises didn't really work out, and the hype, it got bigger than what was actually possible back then.
I guess that makes sense. It's like with any new technology, right? There's all this excitement at first, but then reality hits and it takes time for things to, catch up.
Exactly. And those slower periods, those winters, they weren't necessarily bad. They forced researchers to like rethink their approaches, make their methods better, and set more realistic goals. It actually helped set the stage for the progress we're seeing today.
So those AI winters were like a time to, step back and figure things out. But then things really took off in the 1990s with the whole machine learning revolution, right?
Absolutely. The 90s were a big turning point for AI. There was this huge jump forward with machine learning. And it was because of two things: more data and much faster computers. Suddenly, algorithms had what they needed to really learn and, get better.
Right. More data, more processing power. It's like giving AI a bigger playground and a faster brain. And speaking of breakthroughs, I have to ask about that famous Deep Blue versus Kasparov chess match in 1997. That felt like a real game changer.
Oh, it totally was. I remember watching that match. I couldn't look away. Deep Blue, that chess-playing computer IBM built, it actually beat Garry Kasparov, the world chess champion at the time. It really captured everyone's imagination and showed that AI was entering a whole new era.
It's a perfect example of how AI went from being this theoretical idea to something that could actually beat humans at really complex stuff.
Mm.
And it feels like since then, AI has just exploded in terms of what it can do and how it's affecting us.
It totally has. This modern era of AI, it's driven by deep learning, and it's amazing. We're seeing breakthroughs in image recognition, natural language processing, even creative things like making art and music. It's a time of crazy innovation, and AI is like quickly becoming a part of everything we do.
So with AI doing so much now, how do we even begin to understand all the different types of AI that are out there? The book talks about this AI family tree, and I'm really interested to hear more about that.
That's a great question. It can be overwhelming with so many different types of AI being developed, but let's think of it in three main categories based on what they can do. Narrow AI, general AI, and superintelligent AI. Thinking of it as a spectrum of intelligence can help.
A spectrum of intelligence. Okay, now I'm really interested. Tell me more.
Okay, so on one end of the spectrum, we have narrow AI, which is also called weak AI. This is what we see the most today. It's designed to be really good at specific tasks, within certain limits.
So like the spam filters in our email or those algorithms that somehow know what we want to buy before we even do.
Exactly. Those are perfect examples of narrow AI. They're super efficient at what they do, but they don't have the general reasoning and problem-solving skills that humans have. They can't uh, use their skills for new tasks or things outside of what they were programmed for.
Okay, so narrow AI is like a specialist, really good at one thing. So then on the other end of the spectrum, we have general AI, which sounds a lot more like the AI we see in those, sci-fi movies.
You're right. General AI, or strong AI, is a level of artificial intelligence that would be as smart as humans, across the board. It would have the same cognitive abilities as a human, maybe even better.
So general AI would be like a jack of all trades, able to learn and do any intellectual task a human can. That's kind of mind-blowing.
It is. General AI is still mostly theoretical, but it's the big goal for a lot of AI researchers. To achieve it, we need to overcome some big challenges in computational complexity and create learning mechanisms that are truly adaptive. We're not there yet, but it's an exciting area to explore.
And then there's super intelligent AI, which that one sounds almost scary. What exactly does that mean?
Superintelligence takes the idea of AI even further. It's the idea that AI can become smarter than humans in every way, not just specific tasks, but creativity, problem solving, emotional intelligence, everything. It's the kind of AI that gets people excited and also a little worried, which is understandable.
Yeah, I can see why. AI being smarter than humans, it raises some big questions about control, ethics, and even, the future of humanity. It's something we need to think carefully about.
Definitely, superintelligence could have huge benefits, but also huge risks. We need to think carefully and have nuanced discussions as we keep developing AI.
Okay, so we've got this spectrum of intelligence from narrow AI to general AI to superintelligent AI. It's a good way to think about how powerful different types of AI can be. But what about how they actually work? How they do things? How do these different types of AI operate and interact with the world?
That's a great question. AI Demystified breaks down AI functionalities into four categories: reactive machines, limited memory, theory of mind, and self-aware AI. Think of it like different stages of cognitive development for machines.
Stages of development. Okay, I'm following you. So let's start with reactive machines. What are those all about?
So reactive machines are the most basic kind of AI. They only operate based on what's happening right now. They don't have any memory of the past. They just react to the situation without any real learning. A good example is, remember Deep Blue, the chess computer we were talking about?
Oh, right. So Deep Blue was a reactive machine. That makes sense. It looked at the chessboard and made decisions based on, its programming and what was happening in the game at that moment. It didn't remember past moves or anything.
Exactly. It was only reacting to the present, not using past experiences or learning from its mistakes.
Okay, that's clear. So what about limited memory AI? How is that different?
So limited memory AI is a step up. These systems can actually use data from the past to make decisions, which means they have a basic form of learning. Think about self-driving cars. They use data from past driving to navigate, avoid things, and make decisions in real time. They're learning from what happened before, but it's still limited compared to, how much humans can remember and learn.
That's pretty fascinating. It's like giving AI a short-term memory so it can, adapt and get better based on what's happened before. But what about theory of mind AI? That sounds almost philosophical.
It is. It's an interesting area of research that looks at how complex human thinking is. Theory of mind AI wants to go beyond just reacting to data and actually understand human emotions, beliefs, and intentions. It's about creating AI that can empathize with us.
Wow, that would be amazing. Imagine AI companions for, older people that can actually provide emotional support, or AI therapists that could really understand and respond to how we're feeling. Just the possibilities in healthcare, mind-blowing.
It's a frontier with a lot of potential, but it comes with some big challenges too. Creating AI that can really understand and respond to human emotions and intentions is very complex, but researchers are working on it.
It makes you wonder what the future holds for that kind of AI. And finally, there's self-aware AI. I have to admit, this one feels kind of like something out of science fiction.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Self-aware AI is like the idea that AI could become conscious and understand that it exists. It raises some, really deep questions about what consciousness is and what it really means to be intelligent.
It's a mind-blowing idea that makes us question what we know about AI and ourselves. It's still mostly theoretical, but it makes us think about some pretty big possibilities for the future of AI and how it relates to, humanity.
It does. And as AI keeps evolving, these philosophical and ethical questions are going to become even more important. It's a journey into the unknown, and that's what makes it so interesting.
Okay, so we've talked about capabilities and functionalities, but now I'm curious about the methods behind AI. How are these different types of AI actually created and put into practice? What are the building blocks of intelligence in a machine?
That's where we get into the nitty-gritty of AI development, the different ways we build these intelligent systems. AI Demystified talks about four main methodologies: symbolic AI, machine learning, deep learning, and hybrid AI. Each one is a different approach to creating intelligence in machines.
Okay, let's break down those methodologies, starting with symbolic AI. What's the main idea behind that approach?
Symbolic AI, it's sometimes called good old-fashioned AI. It uses logic and rules that are defined beforehand to represent knowledge and solve problems. It's like building a system of if-then statements that guide the AI's decisions. It's a more traditional approach that was used a lot in the early days of AI.
So it's like giving AI a set of instructions and a logical framework to operate within. But the book mentions that symbolic AI has its limits, especially when things are complex or ambiguous. Why is that?
You're right. Symbolic AI has trouble with the messiness of the real world. It doesn't have the flexibility and adaptability that we see in more modern AI approaches. It's like trying to navigate a busy city using only a hand-drawn map. You probably get lost pretty quickly.
That's a great analogy. So what came after that? What was developed to overcome those limitations?
So the next thing was machine learning, which was a big change in AI. It focuses on letting systems learn from data and get better over time. It's about giving AI the tools to learn and adapt instead of telling it exactly what to do every step of the way.
So instead of giving the AI all the answers, we give it the ability to find the answers itself. It's like teaching a kid to ride a bike. You don't just tell them how, you let them figure it out through experience.
Exactly. And there are different types of machine learning, each good for certain things. The book talks about three main types: supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and reinforcement learning.
Okay, I'd like to hear more about those. Let's start with supervised learning. What's the basic idea there?
Supervised learning is like having a teacher for the AI. We give the AI labeled data examples where the input and the output we want are clearly defined. The AI learns to connect inputs to outputs, basically copying what the teacher's showing it.
So it's like showing AI a bunch of pictures of cats and dogs, labeling them correctly, and then letting it figure out how to tell the difference on its own.
Yeah, exactly. That's a great example. Or think about spam filters. They're trained on huge data sets of emails that are labeled as spam or not spam. The AI learns to recognize patterns and then uses those patterns to decide if a new email is spam.
Okay, that makes sense. So it's all about learning from labeled examples. What about unsupervised learning? How is that different?
Unsupervised learning is more like giving the AI a puzzle to solve without, showing it the picture on the box. It gets unlabeled data and has to find patterns and relationships all on its own. It's about finding hidden structures and insights in the data.
So it's like giving AI a jumbled pile of Legos and letting it figure out what it can build without any instructions. It has to discover the patterns and connections itself.
That's another great analogy. Unsupervised learning is used for things like customer segmentation, where the AI might analyze customer data to find different groups of customers with similar behaviors or preferences.
That's really cool. It's like letting the AI explore the data and find hidden patterns that we might not even know about. And finally, we have reinforcement learning. How does that one work?
So reinforcement learning is like training a dog with treats and commands.
Mm.
The AI learns by trying things out, interacting with an environment, and getting rewards for doing good things and penalties for doing bad things.
Okay, so it's learning by doing and figuring out what actions lead to the best results. That's pretty awesome. I can see how that would be useful in robotics, where the AI needs to learn how to move around in complicated environments and do specific things.
Exactly. It's also used in game playing, where the AI learns to play a game by getting rewards for winning and penalties for losing. Over time, it figures out the best strategy to win the most.
That's amazing. It's like giving AI a goal and letting it figure out how to achieve that goal through experience. So we've covered supervised, unsupervised, and reinforcement learning. What about deep learning? Where does that fit in?
Deep learning is a type of machine learning that uses artificial neural networks. Those are complex structures inspired by the human brain. It's like giving the AI a more sophisticated brain to process information and learn from data.
So deep learning is like machine learning on steroids. It's using these powerful neural networks to analyze tons of data and find complex patterns.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Deep learning has been really important for breakthroughs in image recognition, natural language processing, and even drug discovery. It's a powerful tool that's driving a lot of the recent progress in AI.
It sounds like deep learning is really pushing the limits of what AI can do. And finally, we have hybrid AI. What's the thinking behind that one?
Hybrid AI is all about combining the best of symbolic AI and machine learning. It takes the logic and reasoning of symbolic AI and combines it with the learning and adaptability of machine learning.
So it's like making a more well-rounded AI by, blending different approaches together. It's like having a team of experts with different skills all working together on the same problem.
Exactly. Hybrid AI wants to create more uh, robust systems that can think logically, but also learn and adapt to new information. It's a really promising area of research for the future of AI.
This has been a really interesting overview of the different types and methodologies of AI. Now I'm really curious to see how all of these approaches are actually being used in the real world. The book talks about AI's impact on a lot of different fields, and I'm really interested to dig into that.
Me too. AI isn't just a theoretical thing anymore. It's changing industries and affecting our lives in so many ways. Let's explore some of the areas where AI is, making the biggest impact. AI is really shaking things up in healthcare. It's being used to, analyze medical images, predict how patients will do, and even help with surgeries. Like, imagine if AI could detect diseases like cancer super early when treatment works best.
Yeah, that would be incredible. Early detection is so important for so many health problems. AI could like totally change how we diagnose and treat things. It's almost like having an extra set of eyes, but eyes that can process information and spot patterns that humans might miss.
You got it. AI is like a super powered assistant for doctors, helping them make better decisions and provide better care. And it's not just about diagnostics. AI can also be used to personalize medicine, tailoring treatments to each patient based on their genes and lifestyle.
That's fascinating. It's like moving away from that one-size-fits-all approach to healthcare and going towards something that's more targeted and individualized, like almost like having a treatment plan that's custom made just for you.
Exactly. And AI can also streamline those administrative tasks in healthcare, so doctors and nurses have more time to spend with patients. It's all about using AI to, help humans do what they do best and make the whole healthcare system more efficient.
AI's impact on healthcare is huge, that's for sure. But let's switch gears and talk about business. How is AI changing the way companies work and make decisions?
AI is becoming a must-have for businesses in every industry.
Hmm.
It's being used to understand customers better, optimize marketing campaigns, streamline operations, and even automate entire processes.
It sounds like AI is helping businesses become more efficient, data-driven, and customer-focused. Like it's almost like having a team of, really smart analysts and strategists working in the background, constantly analyzing data and coming up with insights.
Exactly. One area where AI is really shining is customer service. AI-powered chatbots are handling all sorts of customer questions now, providing support 24/7, and freeing up human agents to deal with those more complicated issues.
Yeah, I've definitely seen more and more companies using chatbots on their websites. Sometimes I can't even tell if I'm talking to a real person or AI. It's crazy how good those chatbots have gotten.
It really is. And as AI gets even better, these chatbots will be able to understand and respond to human language even more naturally. They'll be able to handle more complex tasks and give even more personalized support.
That's really interesting. It seems like AI is like changing the face of customer service, making it more efficient and accessible for everyone. What about finance? How is AI shaking things up in that world?
AI is having a big impact on finance, that's for sure. Algorithms are now being used for things like algorithmic trading, risk assessment, fraud detection, and even giving personalized financial advice.
It's almost like AI is becoming a financial advisor for everyone, helping people make smarter decisions about their money.
Yeah, you could say that. AI is making financial services more accessible, efficient, and data-driven. It's helping investors make more informed decisions and manage their money better.
That's really interesting. It seems like AI is making financial expertise available to everyone, which could have big implications for individuals and the economy as a whole. The book also mentions how AI is impacting manufacturing. What are some of the key ways AI is transforming that industry?
AI is playing a crucial role in the rise of those smart factories, where machines and systems are all connected and talking to each other. It's about making manufacturing more efficient, reliable, and able to respond to changes in demand quickly.
So it's like taking the concept of automation to a whole new level, creating factories that can almost think for themselves.
That's it. One area where AI is really making a difference is predictive maintenance. AI systems can analyze data from sensors to predict when equipment is likely to fail, which allows for proactive maintenance so there's less downtime and lower costs.
Wow, that's a huge advantage. So instead of waiting for something to break down and then, scrambling to fix it, companies can actually anticipate problems and address them before they even happen.
Exactly. It's about moving from a reactive approach to a proactive one, and AI is making that possible. AI is also being used to optimize those complex supply chains, making sure that materials and products are delivered on time and, as cheaply as possible.
That's really important in today's global economy where supply chains can be so complex and, any disruptions can have huge ripple effects.
You're absolutely right. AI is helping companies deal with those complexities and making their supply chains more resilient and efficient.
It's amazing to see how AI is changing so many different industries. It's clear that AI isn't just some futuristic concept. It's here now, and it's changing the world as we know it. What about education? How is AI impacting the way we learn and teach?
AI is creating some exciting possibilities in education, from personalized learning platforms that adapt to each student's needs to AI-powered tutors that give individualized support.
It's almost like having a personal tutor for every student, tailoring the learning experience to their strengths and weaknesses.
That's the idea. AI can help students learn at their own pace,
Yeah.
focus on the areas where they need the most help, and get personalized feedback. It has the potential to make education more engaging, effective, and accessible for everyone.
That's really powerful. And it's not just about personalized learning, right? AI can also help teachers with things like grading and giving feedback, which frees up their time so they can focus on those more creative and interactive parts of teaching.
Exactly. It's about using AI to help humans do what they do best in education, creating a better learning environment for students.
It sounds like AI has the potential to really transform education, making it more personalized, engaging, and effective for everyone. What about transportation? How is AI changing the way we get around?
AI is at the forefront of the transportation revolution, especially with, development of self-driving cars and the optimization of public transportation systems.
Yeah, self-driving cars are definitely one of the most talked about applications of AI. It's fascinating to think about the potential impact on safety, traffic, and accessibility.
Absolutely. Self-driving cars have the potential to reduce accidents caused by human error, make traffic flow better by optimizing routes and speeds, and give transportation options to people who can't drive themselves.
It sounds like AI could really change how we think about transportation, making it safer, more efficient, and more accessible for everyone.
It's a very real possibility.
Yeah.
And it's not just about self-driving cars. AI is also being used to optimize public transportation systems, making them more efficient, reliable, and user-friendly.
So it's about using AI to improve all aspects of transportation, from personal vehicles to, public transit. It's about creating a better transportation ecosystem that's more integrated.
Exactly. And as AI continues to evolve, we can expect to see even more innovative applications in transportation, like flying taxis and hyperloop systems that can transport people at incredible speeds. The future of transportation is it's looking pretty exciting.
It really is. It's amazing to think about how AI is transforming so many parts of our lives. But before we get too carried away with all the possibilities, I want to bring us back to something we talked about earlier, general AI. It's such an intriguing concept, and I'd like to, dig a little deeper into what it means and why it matters.
I'm happy to explore that further. General AI, or AGI, really captures the imagination. It's the idea that AI could be as intelligent as humans in every way, not just at specific tasks. It's the kind of AI that could potentially solve some of humanity's biggest problems and lead to incredible advancements.
It's like having a superpowered brain working with us, tackling those problems that have, stumped us for centuries. Imagine what we could achieve with AI that can think as creatively and strategically as we can, or maybe even better.
The possibilities are mind-blowing. Imagine AI that could accelerate scientific discoveries, develop sustainable energy sources, cure diseases, and even explore space in ways we haven't even thought of. It's a future with so much potential.
It's a future that's exciting and, maybe a little scary too, right? I mean, with such huge potential comes huge responsibility. We need to make sure that AGI aligns with human values and doesn't become a threat to us.
Absolutely. That's one of the most important conversations we need to be having as we develop AI. How do we make sure these really smart machines stay under our control and don't develop goals that conflict with ours? How do we build in uh, safeguards to prevent unintended consequences?
It's a question that keeps, philosophers, ethicists, and AI researchers up at night. It's not just about creating intelligent machines. It's about creating ones that are beneficial and ethical. It's about making sure AGI serves humanity, not the other way around.
You're exactly right. It's crucial, and it's something we need to address proactively as AI continues to evolve.
The book also talks about a related idea, the singularity. Can you explain what that is and why it's relevant to our discussion of AGI?
The singularity, it's an idea from futurist Ray Kurzweil, and it refers to a point in time when AI becomes smarter than humans and triggers all these rapid technological advancements. It would lead to a, you know, huge and irreversible change in human civilization.
It sounds like a moment in history where everything changes, almost like a technological Big Bang.
That's a great way to put it.
Mm.
Kurzweil thinks the singularity could happen as early as the middle of this century, driven by the exponential growth in computing power and AI capabilities.
And what would the implications of something like that be? It's hard to even imagine what a world after the singularity would look like.
It's a really mind-bending concept. Kurzweil and others who believe in the singularity theory think that humans will merge with technology, which would lead to, much longer lifespans, enhanced cognitive abilities, and a fundamental shift in how we understand what it means to be human.
It's almost like stepping into a science fiction novel where the line between biology and technology is blurred and the possibilities seem endless.
It's a fascinating idea, but it's important to remember that the singularity is still highly speculative. A lot of experts believe we can't really predict the future of AI with any certainty, let alone the exact timing or nature of such an event.
So, while it's an interesting thought experiment, we should probably take those predictions with a grain of salt.
For sure. But the idea of the singularity, even if it's just hypothetical, reminds us of how big of an impact AI could have on our future. It encourages us to think big, to consider all the possibilities, and to, have thoughtful conversations about the future we want to create.
It forces us to think about some fundamental questions about where human evolution is headed and how technology will shape our destiny.
Exactly. It's a conversation we need to have, and
Yeah.
it will probably keep evolving as AI technology advances. It's a journey with a lot of unknowns, but also a lot of incredible potential.
Speaking of unknowns, one of the biggest concerns about AI is how it might affect the workforce. With AI automating more and more jobs, lots of people are worried about, losing their jobs.
I understand that concern, and we need to address it carefully. The rise of automation, driven by advances in AI, is already changing industries and the nature of work.
So what's the outlook? Are we headed for a future without jobs, like some people say?
I don't think it's that straightforward. While automation will definitely replace some jobs, it'll also create new ones. The key is to adapt and get ready for the changes in the job market.
So it's not about resisting automation, but about embracing the opportunities it creates and making sure workers have the skills they need to succeed in the age of AI.
Exactly. Education and retraining programs will be crucial in helping workers transition to new roles that are in high demand. We need to focus on developing skills that are hard for machines to replicate, things like creativity, critical thinking, problem solving, and emotional intelligence.
So while AI might be great at routine tasks, it's still humans who have the ingenuity, empathy, and complex decision-making skills that are so important in a lot of fields.
That's right. And as AI gets more advanced, the need for human oversight and ethical decision-making will only increase. It's not about humans versus machines. It's about humans and machines working together, using each other's strengths to build a more productive and innovative future.
That's a really important point. It's about collaboration, not competition. It's about finding ways for humans and AI to work together towards common goals.
Exactly. And as we navigate this transition, we need to think about policies and initiatives that can help lessen the potential economic disruptions caused by, AI-driven automation.
The book mentions universal basic income, UBI, as a possible solution. Can you explain how that would work and why it's being considered in the context of AI?
So UBI is basically a guaranteed minimum income that everyone would get, regardless of whether they have a job or not.
Hmm.
People who support UBI argue that it would provide a safety net for those who lose their jobs because of automation, giving them the financial security to, pursue education, retraining, or start their own businesses.
So it's like a safety net to make sure everyone has at least a basic level of financial security, even if their jobs are automated.
That's right. It's a big idea that challenges how we traditionally think about work and income. But in a world where AI is rapidly changing the nature of work, it's a conversation we need to have.
It shows that we need to think proactively and creatively about how we adapt to the challenges and opportunities that AI brings.
Absolutely. And it highlights that the future of AI isn't just a technological issue. It's a societal one that we all need to pay attention to and consider carefully. It's about shaping a future where AI benefits all of humanity, not just a select few.
That's a really powerful thought. It's about making sure the benefits of AI are shared widely and creating a future where everyone has the chance to thrive in the age of, intelligent machines.
Exactly. It's about using the power of AI to create a more just, equitable, and prosperous future for everyone.
That's a vision worth working towards. And it reminds us that the future of AI isn't set in stone. It's something we shape through the choices we make today. We've talked about so much in this deep dive, from the different types of AI to how it's affecting all these different industries. But before we wrap things up, we got to talk about something that's kind of been there the whole time, this idea that AI isn't just a neutral tool. It makes us think about responsibility and, how we shape its future.
Yeah, that's a really important point. The choices we make now about how we develop and use AI are going to have a big impact down the line. We need to
Bro.
be, proactive, not just reacting to things as they happen.
The book, AI Demystified, really stresses that. The future of AI isn't, already decided. It's a future that we have the power to shape.
I totally agree. We're not just, sitting back and watching this technological revolution happen. It's our responsibility to guide AI development in a way that's good for humanity.
So where do we even start? What are some things we can actually do to make sure AI is used for good?
Well, one big thing is to make human well-being a priority at every step of AI development. It's not just about building AI that works. It's about building AI that benefits society.
Right. That makes sense. It's about thinking about the bigger picture. How will this affect society, not just how good is the technology itself?
Exactly. We need to ask ourselves some hard questions throughout the development process, like who will benefit from this? Who might be hurt by it? How can we reduce potential harm? How can we make sure the benefits are shared with everyone?
It's about looking at it from all sides, thinking about all the possible consequences, good and bad.
Absolutely. And this requires everyone to work together. AI experts, ethicists, policymakers, social scientists, and everyday people all need to be involved. We need different perspectives to make sure we're considering everything.
It's about having a conversation as a society, right? Not just letting the tech industry decide everything.
Exactly. AI affects all of us, so we all need to be part of the conversation about its future.
Okay, so collaboration is key. What else can we do to, make sure AI develops in a good way?
Transparency is super important. AI systems need to be understandable and explainable. People should be able to know how AI is being used and how it's making decisions, especially when those decisions affect them directly.
That's a great point. It's about building trust and accountability into AI.
Right. When AI is like a black box, it's hard to see and fix potential biases or mistakes. Transparency helps us make sure AI is used fairly and responsibly.
So transparency helps us trust AI and make sure it's working the way we want it to. What else should we be thinking about as we move into this new world of AI?
We have to be careful about AI making existing inequalities worse. We need to make sure AI is used to close those gaps, not widen them.
Yeah, that's really important. We've seen how technology can sometimes make inequality worse, and we need to be very intentional about using AI to create a more just and fair society.
I completely agree. We need to make sure that everyone has access to the benefits of AI and that we're using it to empower marginalized communities.
It's about using AI to level the playing field, not make things more uneven.
Exactly. And that means thinking carefully about how AI is developed, used, and regulated. It means being proactive and anticipating potential problems.
So we can't just wait for problems to happen. We need to be ahead of the game and design AI systems with equity and fairness in mind right from the start.
That's exactly it. We need to be thoughtful and intentional about how we develop AI, making sure it aligns with our values and our vision for a better future.
Well, I think we've given our listeners a lot to think about today. It's clear that AI is incredibly powerful and can change our world in huge ways.
It's a journey with lots of possibilities, and it's up to all of us to make sure it benefits all of humanity.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the world of AI. It's been a fascinating look at a topic that's complex, challenging, and ultimately very human. We hope this has given you a better understanding of what AI is all about, how it might affect our lives, and the choices we have as we move into this new age of technology. Remember, the future of AI is not set in stone, it's a future that we all create together.
Thanks for having me. It's been great talking about this important topic with you.